Hi, this is Blake Angelos from Yamaha Corporation America here with the all-new CP series stage pianos. So we have two models, the 73 note and the 88. The CP73 is a 88, or is a, sorry, the CP73 is a 73 note E to E action with this balanced hammer, so it's like kind of a montage of the motif action. Nice, responsive, killer weighted action. It's about 28 pounds, so it's very lightweight. The idea behind the CP73 is maybe, you know, for a gigging keyboardist. Very small, fits in the back of a small car, really nice. This is the CP88 up here. This has a different action. This has a graded hammer, natural wood, synthetic ebony and ivory key tops, with the GH3 sensor. What a GH3 sensor does, it allows me to restrike the note before it comes off the bottom of the keystroke like a grand piano. So it's a very responsive, nice, pianistic action, and that's kind of how we position this as for the discerning pianist. Other than that, they are identical internally. Internal sounds, control, ins and outs, all the same. That's the difference between the two models. So let's talk about the interface here. From here to here, this is all a one-to-one interface. We really kind of think about this as the legacy of our CP series. So the CP would be like the CP80, the CP70 from the 70s and the 80s. The thing that was cool about that is that there were 6 knobs on a CP80, and each knob only did one thing. So taking that idea forward, that's what this is about. These are all one-to-one interface. So I know when I turn on this section, there's a one knob for volume, one knob for tone, one knob to select sounds inside of a category. Same thing with effects, turn them on and off. One knob does one function. So these sections are piano, electric piano, subcategory, which has things like pads and strings and leads and basses. And then over here, a effects section of delay and reverb that I can have individual sends per part. So let's say I have the delay on, I can turn the piano on, and it's only going to send delay to the piano, or the electric piano, or the subcategory. If I hit it so it's all on, then I send delay and reverb to all sections. There's also a master EQ that I can turn on and off that will stay on and off even if I change sounds. So if I'm trying to tune it to a room, I can set this up and have this ready to go to fix any issues I have in a room. So that's essentially the interface. The only thing I'd like to point out is over here is I can select sounds in what's called a live set. You can save panel settings and recall them right over here as well. This is also where things like transpose, split point, it's over in this section. So let's just talk about this part here. So in the piano section, there's little switches that are underneath each section that turn things on and off. It's very easy to get to them. They feel really good. Everything feels so solid. It's solid because it's an all aluminum construction. The whole thing has really been redesigned from top to bottom, so this aluminum construction is really nice. So let's play just some of the pianos. Here's the CFX concert grand. So I select these sounds in this category, in the piano category: piano, upright pianos, CP electric grands, and then layered pianos. So I'll play some of just the CFX piano, the grand pianos. Sorry, I have the delay on there. So the CFX concert grand piano is what we learned basically for our entire over 100 years of building pianos. It took about 17 years of R&D to do this piano, and the idea about this piano is that it's got a very strong fundamental, so it has the power to really project over a symphony orchestra, but it's also very, very expressive. It's a great piano for all sorts of music, anything from jazz to classical to country or everything. Now I'm going to move to another sound, but I want you to listen to this. I just moved to the Bosendorfer sound, but you notice the CFX sound is still ringing. It's because you can move from sound to sound in this instrument and not cut off the previous sound. So that's very cool. I want to play this again so you really hear the... That's the CFX. Here's the Bosendorfer low end. So the Bosendorfer has a much more resonant piano. A lot of this is because the Bosendorfer Imperial 290 actually is a C to C 8-octave range, so it has extra notes in the low end. And even though we don't have those extra notes, it certainly has that big note bloom of a Bosendorfer piano. Great piano. Now, I'm going to go to one more piano here before we move on the electric piano. I want to highlight the C7. So part of the design of this instrument is we will have regular OS updates, CPOS updates that add new sounds going forward. So about every 6 months we'll release new updates. And we're launching it here at NAMM with the C7 and a couple other electric pianos. A really killer reed piano, a 67 reed piano. That's a silver top. That's one that is rented out by a lot of backline companies in LA when people, artists especially, want an authentic, absolutely authentic time piano. This one is it. Everything's all original in that instrument. And there's also a reed piano in here that's actually the sound designers. That's a killer reed piano, like a 200 series reed piano. So the C7 is the other thing that's added in here. So 2 electric pianos and the C7. So I want to play this C7 for you. And the thing I love about the C7 is that it's a great piano sound, very expressive, but it has the bite of a C7. Really cutting, great sounding piano for rock, for country, for gospel. In fact, for gospel musicians, they were all about the power grand from the original motif because it had that bite, and that's what this has to it. Really killer piano. C7 probably the most recorded piano in the history of recorded music. So I'm going to move over to this next section here, and I can do it a couple of different ways. I can just turn off the piano section so there's nothing here and just turn on the EP section. So, or I can recall it from a live set over here because I have that already saved in here. So it's either way. I love the fact that you can just turn sections on and off. It's really easy to figure this out. You just look at it and you can kind of get a really good idea of what's going on here. So I'm going to recall a 73 RD. This is one of my favorite ones in the instrument. Now I want to show a couple of things. This is like having a great electric piano but having all the Stompbox effects with it. We have this technology called virtual circuitry modeling that does component-based modeling of all these vintage Stompboxes, and it's included in this section here in the EP section. So I'm going to play this RD73 without the preamp drive on first, then I'll turn it on so you can really hear what it does to the sound. So here's so that's without the drive on. Now I'll turn on the drive, you'll hear it kick in. It's like turbocharge. So check this out, I can increase the drive in here and get a lot more drive. Or I could dial that back, whatever. Now I have these Stompbox effects over here. On the top area, I have auto pan, tremolo, ring modulator, which is a really cool effect, touch wah, pedal wah, and compressor. The bottom has phasers and flangers that are all, again, with the VCM. So if I want to turn on something like a phaser, I just simply hit this button, select the phaser, and now I've got increase the speed if I want to. Select a different phaser. Just that simple, turn it on and off. Again, the one-to-one interface makes this very, very easy. I'll play the reed pianos here, and I'll just play through all 3 of them real quick so you can hear the difference. There's a WR warm, there's a bright, and then there's wide. The wide one is the one that was added in OS version 1.10. Again, those are free updates. It was pretty cool. So check it out. I'll just play each one and change, and I'll tell you when I'm changing them. So that's the warm, here's the bright. Now here's the CPOS 1.1, the wide one. Now, with these type of pianos, you really want to have the tremolo effect. And I have some cool things, depth and rate, so this kind of adds a little bit more to that authenticity. So that's a little bit for the electric piano section. There's also the subcategory section in here that adds things like, again, pad sounds. I'll bring up just the pad stuff so you can hear it. And I have some controls over here that you'd want on a pad sound, like release and attack, so you have some amplitude envelope controls for that purpose. You also have some effects in here as well. But the thing that's cool about this is that if I have a pad sound and I want to add a piano to it, I just simply turn on the piano. Now if I want to adjust the sound, I want the tone maybe on my piano up, it's all right here. If I want to adjust the volume of the pad, it's right there. Adjust the tone maybe. Again, it's this one-to-one interface. It just, you're invited to try something and just move it and not have to pull out of the music. You're thinking, you're not doing menu diving. That's a great thing about this instrument. The last thing I'll show you that I love about this instrument is some of the Stompbox style kind of effect things you can do. So I call this, it's CFX loop layer is what I call this. I brought it up and it uses delays to do this. The cool thing about that delay that I showed earlier is that you have separate sends for each part. So the piano in this one does not have any delay on it at all. But the other two parts, electric piano and subcategory, I have lots of delay. So I'll just kind of create a cool little line. You'll see, you'll listen to what's happened. It's pretty cool. And I'll turn off the delay first so you can hear this. So it's a little down. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I'll turn on the delay, and we'll see what I can do, if I can hear it. Lots of drums in here. So I can select different sounds while this is going on and add different stuff to it. So I'll turn off the subcategory section and add the EP section. I love the ring modulator effect I have in here. I can add some kind of cool stuff here. So now I have this delay going, right? Remember, the piano isn't going through here. It's going through the reverb, but not the delay. So then when I decide to, I can drop this big. Now, if I want to add the piano to the delay line, that's no problem. I just turn up the depth. Turn it back down, maybe play over that. Now, because this has seamless sound switching, I can go into my live set over here and bring up something else. So I'll find something to add to it. Maybe this 67 RD that's added in 1.1, this silver top roll. So you get the idea. You can do some just really cool things that are more reminiscent of a Stompbox looping kind of things, plus being able to turn on and off effects and sections. Really simple, easy to use, one-to-one interface. But again, the main thing about this are great acoustic pianos and great electric pianos and great effects. I did want to show you one more before I leave. This is a U1. And the U1 piano is probably the best-selling upright piano in the world. And we sampled a very specific U1 for this. Rather than have a perfect piano, we have one that has a lot of character, a very played-in piano, and you gotta check this out because I think this is gonna be kind of an iconic sound for this instrument because it's just, everybody that plays it is always reminded of church or growing up at home and the piano they had in their house. It's just a great piano, fun piano to play. So. I just love how this sounds in here. It's imaged so cool in the headphones or through the stereo. It just sounds like you're right in front of it. Very cool. So we have a selection of upright pianos. There's that played-in one, or there's an SU7 that's a perfect upright. So the last thing I'll talk about is just the connection here in the back. You have XLR outputs, and you also have quarter-inch line level outputs. Interesting, on this video right now, what you're seeing me is I'm going through XLRs to my speakers here, but the camera and the audio for this video shoot are coming out of the line output, so they're active at the same time. What does that mean for a stage piano is that I can send these to a mixer without the need for a direct box, and these can go to my floor monitors for my own sound. So that's very cool, they're both active. You have 2 foot pedal inputs, one for sustain, one an assignable switch, and then 2 foot controller for FC7s. All of them are assignable to do different things, so I can bring in like maybe a pad layer. I can assign it to the volume for this part if I want to use it for that, or I can use it for the pedal wah effect if I want to use the pedal wah effect. We also have a USB 2 host out. That's an audio and MIDI interface to the computer. So you can connect to a computer and send audio back and forth and MIDI control. That means that you can take your laptop to the gig and have things like Main Stage or Camelot and control virtual instruments without the need for an external audio interface. One cable connection to do that. It's also iOS compatible. You can play sounds on an iPhone. You can play music through the instrument this way. But you can get the Sound Mondo app. What Sound Mondo is a social sound sharing service that you can download sounds. We started out with Reface, so you could upload sounds for the Reface keyboards and download them. We added Montage and Modi X. Now we have CP will be part of that too. So what that means is that you can upload your sounds for your CP or settings to the cloud, download other people's stuff that they share up there, and we'll put artist sounds up there as well for the CP. So you'll be able to have access to a huge library of different setups for CP. So that's Sound Mondo again. Just soundmondo.com is where you'd find that. So that's basically it. So that's the CP73 for the gigging keyboardist, CP88 for the pianist. The cool thing about this instrument for my personal self is that I can see myself having both. This will stay home in my studio, that goes to the gig because they're voice compatible. I can load things, get it going here, and then load it in this and go to the gig at the 28-pound limit. But 41's pretty good too. We also have a set of really cool gig bags with wheels on it that are like rollerblade style wheels, really nice. Inside of that bag, you'd want to sleep in there. It's so nice. It's like a velvety inside. We'll really take care of this instrument on the gig. So that is a brief tour of the CP88. Thank you so much for watching. Go to your Long and McQuade store. It'll be about maybe March when it will be there. And go and check it out at Long and McQuade. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm Blake Angeles from Yamaha Corporation America.
Thanks for watching. To be notified of more videos of our trip to NAMM this year, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell. Leave a comment or question below and check out our video playlist of all the latest and greatest products at NAMM.